in the bustling heart of Silvergate City, where towering glass buildings shimmered beneath the daylight sun, and wealth seemed to flow like water. A moment unfolded that would shake an entire empire. Inside the prestigious Skyview Tower restaurant, crowded with polished marble floors, golden accents, and patrons dressed in designer suits, a young waitress named Mira Solis stood frozen in shock as the CEO of the corporation that owned the restaurant pointed at her with cold disdain. She had accidentally spilled a few drops of water near his table, and instead of accepting a polite apology, the CEO, Varun Locke, leaned back in his leather chair, smirked, and commanded her in front of the entire room to crawl on her hands and knees like a dog and clean it. Laughter erupted from several executives seated with him, their expensive watches gleaming in the sunlight streaming through the massive windows. Tears burned in Mira's eyes, humiliation tightening around her like a vise, while the world watched and judged. She hesitated, trembling, but the manager whispered harshly that if she refused, she would be fired immediately. With her heart shattering, she fell to her knees, feeling the cold marble beneath her palms, and crawled as ordered. Cameras secretly recorded, whispers spread, and the cruel spectacle continued until Varun finally waved her away with disgust, as though she were beneath human dignity. If you're watching this and believe that no one deserves to be humiliated, and that kindness and second chances matter, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kind Hearts Corner. Your support helps us spread powerful stories that inspire change. Mira left the restaurant that afternoon with shaking legs, feeling the bright daylight almost mocking her as pedestrians walked past without noticing the storm inside her. She wasn't just humiliated, she felt erased, as if her worth had been stripped away by a man who believed money and power granted him superiority. She had always been quiet and hardworking, balancing her job while finishing her degree in business analytics online. She had dreams once. Dreams of creating something meaningful, of using her intelligence and compassion to help others. But life had thrown heavy burdens her way. After losing her parents in a tragic accident 3 years earlier, she had taken responsibility for her younger brother, Leo, who struggled with chronic illness. Medical bills drained whatever she earned, pushing her to take multiple jobs, and she often skipped meals so Leo could eat. Every day was a battle to survive. Yet the humiliation she experienced that day awakened something within her. As she walked home through the sunlit streets, remembering the laughter, remembering the CEO's mocking tone, a spark ignited in her chest. She realized that she had spent years shrinking herself for the comfort of others, accepting mistreatment to keep her job. But this time, the embarrassment became fuel. She vowed that no one, not even a billionaire CEO, would ever degrade her again. When she arrived home, Leo immediately sensed something was wrong. Though she tried to hide her tears, he noticed her red eyes and trembling hands. He reminded her gently that she was stronger than people believed, that she had always been a fighter. His words wrapped around her like sunlight, reminding her that she still had value. After Leo fell asleep that evening, she opened her laptop, her mind sharpening with a clarity she had never felt before. With anger, determination, and her deep knowledge of corporate structures, she began researching Varun Locke's company, Locke Industries, a powerful conglomerate spanning real estate, technology, and hospitality. The same company that paid minimum wage to restaurant workers, while executives earned millions. Her business studies and natural analytical talent guided her as she dug through public financial reports, legal filings, and leaked internal documents available online. The deeper she investigated, the more she realized that Locke Industries was rotten from within. Hidden behind its polished public image were fraudulent accounting practices, illegal labor exploitation, and environmental violations covered up through bribes. Mira discovered a pattern of shell companies used to hide tax evasion and money laundering. One discovery led to another, and soon she had compiled evidence capable of destroying the entire corporation if brought to light. Still, she knew information alone wasn't enough. Powerful companies crushed whistleblowers easily. She needed leverage, visibility, and allies. Her opportunity came the next morning, when the video of her humiliation went viral. Someone in the restaurant had recorded the moment she crawled, and the clip spread across social media under the blazing morning sun, accompanied by outrage and disgust. Millions watched the CEO laughing as he demeaned a young waitress. Public fury erupted, and people demanded justice. Reporters camped outside Skyview Tower, and hashtags calling for boycotts trended across platforms. Instead of hiding, Mira stepped into the daylight and used the exposure. She reached out to a prominent investigative journalist known for exposing corruption. With trembling hands, she shared everything she had gathered: documents, financial trails, insider testimony from online forums. The journalist quickly recognized that this wasn't just a workplace incident. It was the thread that could unravel a massive illegal network. Within 24 hours, major news outlets published explosive reports linking Locke Industries to criminal activities. Government agencies launched investigations, freezing assets and issuing subpoenas. Stockholders panicked, causing the corporation's value to plummet by billions. Executives scrambled to cover their tracks, but the evidence was overwhelming. Employees began speaking out, revealing abusive practices, unsafe working conditions, and systematic exploitation. Investors withdrew support, and partners terminated contracts to distance themselves from the scandal. Meanwhile, Varun Locke, who had once lounged in luxury, found himself drowning in disaster. His smug arrogance vanished as cameras followed him everywhere, demanding answers. He attempted to blame Mira, calling her ungrateful and manipulative, but the world saw through his lies. Public opinion turned brutally against him, and soon he faced charges for fraud and corruption. His empire, once worth $2 billion, collapsed in broad daylight before his eyes. Board members forced him out, freezing his accounts and stripping him of authority. The same executives who had laughed with him now abandoned him to save themselves. Mira, however, didn't seek revenge for the sake of cruelty. Her goal was justice. For herself, for every exploited worker, for every person silenced by those in power. The story of her courage spread globally, inspiring countless people who had been mistreated or underestimated. Donations poured in to support her and Leo, allowing them to finally afford proper medical treatment. She received job offers from respected companies impressed by her intelligence and bravery. But she hesitated, wanting to choose a path aligned with her values. Instead, she founded a non-profit organization dedicated to protecting workers' rights and exposing corporate abuse. With the sun shining through her office window, she felt hope bloom again. She hired people who had been mistreated, offering fair wages and dignity. Her organization collaborated with lawmakers to create stronger labor protections, ensuring that what happened to her would not happen to others. As months passed, Mira transformed from a humiliated waitress into a powerful advocate, proving that resilience and integrity could defeat even the wealthiest oppressors. Her story reminded the world that kindness was not weakness, and that standing up for oneself could create meaningful change. Varun Locke's downfall became a warning to all leaders who abused power, and Mira became a symbol of courage for those who had been silenced. When Leo recovered enough to walk outside again, he hugged his sister beneath the bright sun in a peaceful park and told her that she had not only saved herself but countless others. Mira felt tears rise, but this time they were tears of triumph. She realized that the moment she crawled on that marble floor had not broken her. It had been the catalyst for her rise. She had taken her pain and turned it into purpose. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kind Hearts Corner to help spread more stories of courage, justice, and compassion. Before we end, please leave a special comment. Kindness always wins. With that final message echoing through the hearts of viewers, Mira's journey stood as a powerful reminder that no one should ever be treated as less than human, and that even in the brightest daylight, justice can shine stronger than wealth or power.